I tell people often that it is really embedded in my heart that I care very much for people. And I use the term love freely. I love because that's who I am. You can't earn it. You can't chase it off. I'm Tom Allred. Double above the knee amputee. My role at Martin Bionics is I'm kind of on the front line of marketing. For the past 3 years this month, every time somebody's clicked on a link to get information from Martin Bionics, I got an email with their name, address, phone number, amputation level, all that information, and reached out to them to see what questions I could answer. But when I get in conversation with somebody, I introduce myself, and then I tell them, I'm an amputee too. Let me tell you a little bit about my story, and maybe it'll answer some questions for you. With 59 years of starting out with wooden legs and everything that's happened since, my story will answer your questions. I came into this world in 1949, having been put up for adoption before my birth. Bounced around from foster home to hospital to foster home to hospital for the first 18 months of my life. I was being released from the hospital after a surgery a day earlier than the Children's Service Society thought. They had no foster home for me to go to. The head of the agency called my mom and said, I got a little boy, just got out of surgery. He has no place to go. I got no place to send him, but the hospital will not keep him one more day. Mom knew somehow that needed to be a yes. But Mom was always the ignition point for something life-changing happening. There was deformity observed at my birth. We tried and tried and tried to create the knee joint that just wasn't there. Number one, Dr. Clegg was always thinking of my best interest and looked at my folks and looked at me and he said, we've tried for all these years to keep from amputating above the knee. You may live a more full life as an above knee amputee. Mom was way ahead of her time because there was no rehabilitation or physical therapy stuff going on back then. They took the springs out of the bottom of a crib, had wheels, dolly wheels on the bottom of the legs. We had a 30-foot long living room. She would lift up in the morning, she would lift up that crib. I'd get underneath it, she'd drop it down, and I had to walk the living room 100 times every day. And thanks to her willingness to push me to hurt and beyond, I've always just found a way to do what I wanted to do. Mom was right from the beginning. It echoes and echoes and echoes in my life. People think about the disadvantage or the bad luck I have in being an amputee. Go back to what I started with. What nails me? What gets me up in the morning? People, relationship, sharing love. I'm talking to people all the time who, to one extent or another, have got the blues about being an amputee. I'll say, I've been an amputee since, above knee amputee since 1961, and I've had Martin Bionics sockets since 2017. What that really means to you is that I had 56 years where the very best days I had, I was only uncomfortable. Most days I was in pain, and lots of days I was miserable. Found Martin Bionics quite by accident, attending the annual conferences of the Amputee Coalition of America. And I'm leaning on this table, and all of a sudden, a guy comes up to me and says, "Hi, my name's Jay Martin. I've got a new socket design that's adjustable, it's lightweight, it's breathable, air circulates around and all this jazz." And I'm thinking, horse feathers. I would know about something like that if it existed, and that couldn't possibly be. And I'm looking at what he's got, and he's showing me, and then there's a patient model comes walking by wearing one, and I'm like, whoa, that was a slam dunk. The only person I wanted to talk to was Jay Martin. that Monday that I walked into the clinic here in Oklahoma City, I walked in on 2 canes. I walked out Friday with one as a just in case because I was kind of getting used to a new feel. And within a couple of weeks, it was like, where'd you leave your cane? I don't know. I feel like when Jay gave me the sockets and I headed out the door, there was a little envelope, the warranty envelope or something. Somebody must have just given me this envelope. And when I got home and opened it up, there was 20 years in there. I'm doing stuff that I wasn't comfortable doing 20 years ago. One of my grandkids said, "It's so fun to see Grandpa smiling all the time again." I don't make a big deal out of it, and I didn't think I made a big deal out of it when I was uncomfortable or in pain. I jokingly said one time, I guess I was a grumpy grandpa and didn't know it. But today's flip side of that is that my kids and my grandkids observe that my life is better. If my behavior, if what I've accomplished, not to pat myself on the back for accomplishing it, if the fact that I can do something brings hope to someone else, that maybe it's not so dark after all, that's what makes my blood flow. Because I realize that I am making a difference just by being me. The bad start in life has turned into quite a blessing, not just for me. What I'm doing today, the life I'm living today, was not in my vision 3 years ago. Pretty neat.